Hello, everybody. Dave here once again, Online Motorsports, Plainfield, Illinois. And this is going to be part two of a walk-around video on our highly modified 2008 Dodge Challenger SRT. And what I'm going to cover in this one, we just went through the drivetrain in the first video, if you got a chance to see that. This one we're going to cover some other things like suspension, exhaust, and some other appointments on the car. As far as suspension goes, this has been equipped now during the modification with BC Racing's adjustable coilover suspension. It's got Hotchkiss Sports sway bar set, their Speed Logic Matrix brace subframe connectors, which you'll see in some of the underbody photos. Other things inside. Inside is basically stock. Probably the biggest addition is the roll bar setup, and that is a RPM 8-point roll cage. It's all chrome with a chromoly window net setup, which is on the driver's side, which there's photos of in the photo gallery. It's also equipped for driver and passenger RPM 5-point cam lock harnesses. So it's all set up. If you want to go to the track, they're not going to kick you off the track, because you can't take a lot of these cars to these tracks legally unless you know the owner, or got keys to the gate when nobody's around. They're not going to let you back. They're not going to let you on the track with a car built like this without those safety items on there. As far as exhaust goes, it's equipped with Cook's long tube headers. Now this is a catalytic converter delete car, so you guys in California, you better have another state you can register the car. I'm just letting you know that up front. We've had a few people asking, hey, I know it's got no cats, can I bring it to California? Not unless you've got a plan B, but just want to let everybody know that and disclose that. Borla exhaust, so the car's got great sound. And like I mentioned in the other video, this car's been tuned down to 800 horsepower. This car can go to 1400 horsepower with a tune. So, like I said, we've had a few people ask why only 800 horsepower with all the modifications. That's where this one starts at, not to where it doesn't peak out there. So keep that in the back of your mind if you're looking for maximum performance. And it's amazing how many people have come through the contact seller talking about this SRT Demon 170. And they've got their deposits on them. They're going to build 2,500, maybe 3,000 tops of those cars. Dodge right now has 12,000 people with deposits on those cars. So there's going to be about 9,000 people that are not going to get that car. Your average price on those, unless you got a relative that owns a Dodge dealer and has allocation for them, those cars are costing in excess of 200 grand at this point. And you'll probably see the number first one going through Barrett-Jackson probably breaking $1 million. So this car exceeds all that. It's a different type of car. There's nothing wrong with going with a production, low number regular production car if you're a collector. If you're a real car guy, a speed demon, this is probably the way to roll. You're going to get a lot more bang for your buck when it comes to performance. A lot of the items added to this car meet or exceed what Dodge can put on their cars. That's why it's a modified car. People modify cars because the manufacturers aren't able to build those cars. The Department of Transportation doesn't allow them to do these types of things. But on the outside of the car, let's get back to this car. It has 4 OEM Hellcat wheels on it all the way around. Still carrying the stock Brembo brakes, which comes standard on there. You notice the car is a 2008. This is a splitter from a 2012 SRT. So that's one upgrade. All the headlights, it's got the halo headlights. You're going to notice little things. Side marker lights have been changed out. Everything's been replaced with LED bulbs. And if you look at all 4 wheels, they're perfect, just like they came off the assembly line yesterday. A little upgrade to a black gas cap. They didn't have those on 08. And this is something they definitely didn't have. They didn't have a Hellcat. This is an OEM Hellcat rear deck lid spoiler. Previous owner, when he commenced the build, actually had the reverse camera put in. That was not available. If you notice, these are not the original taillights. These are later model taillights, which gives this car a much better look than it had in '08. So those are some little things. Of course, we got mud flaps. We've got tinted windows. And inside, very stock, other than the few appointments I mentioned to you. Let's get around to the driver's side. And I think in the first video, I was covering mainly some basics on the drivetrain. This one is equipped with a trans brake. That's the button right there. At this point in time, it is unhooked, just because the previous owner really didn't have any use for it. It is installed. All you need to do is get in that boot, put 2 connectors, and you're all hooked up. And that's hooked to, that's for your trans brake. If you notice here too, let me fire this. This whole car is equipped with the Holley EFI system, which includes the dash, which is a touch screen dash. Gives you a whole new set of gauges versus whatever came out of the factory. Here she goes. And this is a touch screen, which it's got a few other modes on there. You've got a menu, you've got playback, record. There's a lot you can do with this. Now, I'm not a computer expert, I'm not real techie. This thing's, you know, way past my my pay grade, but everything on this car, the full fuel system is all done by Holley. So all Holley components. Head unit's been upgraded to a Kenwood. It's got GPS, rear cameras we mentioned. We got stock mirrors. The rest of the car inside is all stock SRT. Nothing else really has been. And then this one is equipped with the push button start. That was done during the build by Modern Muscle. Show you a little bit about the trunk here. And there's pictures of the trunk as well, all stripped out, so you got a good look at that. But this got the adjustable coilover adjusters come right through here. Stock sound system. But the car is just nicely done. There's over $110,000 in upgrades done to this car, plus the price of the car. Now there's a little over like 404 miles, 405 on the odometer since the build. When this build started, there was about 39,000 miles on the car. So you're looking at a car, the chassis that's got under 40,000 miles or about 40,000 miles, even though it's going to be sold TMU because of the cluster change. If you look at the Carfax, all those numbers add up, and if you look at the condition of the car is second to none in condition. All original paint, clean Carfax. Look at that. That's listed on the listing. But you know, if you consider, I know a stock. If this car was stock, let's call it a 40,000 mile SRT8. These cars alone, if they're stock, sell for 30 grand. 30, 32 is the range. Just look at the results on Bring a Trailer. So don't believe me. And then you've got $110,000, $115,000 in upgrades, which is quite a bit, but it's got a whole new drivetrain, new suspension, new exhaust, new Holley ECU computers. You know, really the only thing that's got 40,000 miles on it is the body and the interior. So keep all that in mind when you're bidding. The car is going to be a great value. It's got what I would consider a more than a reasonable reserve. So whoever's going to get this thing is not going to have to go out there and spend $200,000 to get 900 or 1,025 horsepower. They're going to spend a hell of a lot less than that and end up with a car that has, if they want to bring it up to 1,400 horsepower, that's all up to them. But it's got the capabilities. So anyway, let's make it a great auction. If anybody has any questions on the car, they can go right through the gallery, or they can hit the contact seller button. I'd be happy to talk to anybody about the car by phone. If you're local or you want to come out and look at the car, you're more than welcome to get your eyes right on it. I guarantee you there's no disappointments with this car. So like I say, if you got any questions, get a hold of me. My name is Dave, and let's make it a great auction. And just remember, don't ever forget, don't let the other guy or girl drive off in your Challenger SRT. We'll see you folks down the road.